Hey, you are listening to the Boston Celtics newsfeed. This is Celtics Roundtable coming to you after a dispiriting loss to the great Nikola Jokic and the higher-powered Nuggets, where the Celtics' defensive woes cropped up yet again. I'm Matt Ignall alongside Zaire, and rather than rehash the Nuggets, we're going to have Jonathan Levy shoot us a few Celtics-related questions that have been on his mind. So take it away, Jonathan. What is your first question?
How is this team going to rebound when Gordon Hayward is starting next to Jay Crowder at the forward spot?
Hey, if you get Gordon Hayward, then I don't think you got to worry too much about rebounding at that point because they're going to hit a lot of shots.
I don't think Gordon Hayward is going to be on this basketball team. I think that's a nice wish, but it just doesn't make sense to me when you have Jay Crowder and Jaylen Brown.
Can you really have too many 6'7" guys? I mean, those guys could theoretically play like three positions.
Yeah, but in reality, sooner or later, you're going to need a power forward and you're going to need a center. And you got a lot of guards already. It just doesn't – I don't know. I think that, I think Gordon Hayward could help the basketball team. I just don't think they need to get him in order to be better next year. I think they need to rely on the improvement of their players that they have and then maybe get another player that's missing. It's not going to work playing Jay Crowder at the four for a significant amount of time because his body's going to wear down. It's just he's not built to play the four a whole lot. What you got to do is get that rookie Ante Žižić over here and let him do his thing. That's the guy you drafted. Believe in him and let's see what can happen. I mean, if it fails, okay, you got other options, but let's see what this dude can do.
So your plan is to start Žižić? To play Žižić a lot? It's asking a lot.
It's asking a lot, but it's also asking a lot for your 5'9" guard to average 30 points. It's asking a lot for a guy that can't shoot to be one of your key players, and he is. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of things on this team that doesn't make sense right now, but it's working. So why can't he come over and be a contributor? Why can't he come over here and do some great things? We've seen foreign imports come in and contribute on good programs. Like San Antonio has been a very good example of that.
Zaire just sees the trajectory of this team as going up, up, up to the moon. And Zaire, Levy does not share that.
I do not. I agree and appreciate the fact that there are things happening with this team right now that are not things we would have predicted. But then there's lots of things that we would have predicted and lots of guys who really haven't worked out. We just are talking about the ones who have. But let's move on. Question number 2. Go right back to Matthew Ignall here. Matthew, so much talk about Jimmy Butler. So much talk about maybe trading huge packages for him. It didn't happen at the trade deadline. But still there are whispers that it may happen before the draft. You watch a lot of Jimmy Butler. You really pay attention to these players. Avery Bradley's been killing it. How much better is Jimmy Butler really than Avery Bradley?
I think a significant amount better. I mean, he's arguably been the second best player in the Eastern Conference this year. That Bulls team, like, who else is good on that Bulls team? I ask you, like, that is not a good team right there. Jimmy Butler is putting that team on his back, and he can guard multiple positions. He's really, really good. I think this conversations are going to continue to be open with the Bulls. I don't actually see a deal happening. I think it's just too hard to get a superstar, and I don't think the pieces are just going to match up. I like Avery Bradley a lot. I named my dog Avery, but he's not Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy labors less, I think, than Avery. Avery has to work harder, due to size issues, and I just think that I don't want to sacrifice a whole lot for one guy when you have so many assets and so much, you got options and you're not desperate. And that's the key thing about being in a great place with this Celtics team. They're not desperate. It feels good every night where you're not desperate and you can just say, we can win. And we don't have one of the top 5 players in the league, and we still messing with these teams that do.
Wow, Zaire says we don't have one of the top 5 players in the league. I can't believe my own ears. This is amazing.
Okay, so let me fix that. Oh. Isaiah Thomas is the best player in the world. However, most people feel like he's not one of the top 5 players in the league. I don't feel that way, but most people do, and I'm just speaking collectively as a unit.
All right. Well, thanks for clarifying that. I was a little worried, but staying on the topic of Isaiah Thomas for a moment, Zaire, I'm teeing you up here, buddy. One of the things that no one seems to talk about in terms of Isaiah is how about 4 to 5 times each game he takes it to the hoop, misses the shot, sticks around and sort of stands and glares at the ref while everyone else runs back, and there's a 5-on-4 the other way. And I would say that's pretty consistent with Isaiah. How much do you think that actually hurts the team, though? And is it possible that Isaiah could change that and keep sort of the competitive fire and little guyness of his offense?
Episodes and episodes ago, I went back to the Manny Ramirez effect. I was a Cleveland fan as a kid. That's where I grew up. I remember Manny Ramirez's first game. I saw it. I taped it on VHS, right? Manny Ramirez was that guy. He would drop the ball in the outfield. He constantly was one of the top guys in errors in his career, but he would get you about 3 or 4 runs back for every run he'd surrender. So I look at Isaiah like that. If he's giving up points, he's going to get you way more in return. So, I don't mind him working the refs. Somebody has to. And the fact that that's NBA tradition. I haven't seen a superstar yet that didn't work the refs. I didn't see a great coach yet that didn't work the refs. So I understand what you're saying. It would make all the sense in the world to run back down and play hard defense, but that's college basketball. He's in the NBA. He's got to work the refs. He's got to let them know that he matters and he's very important. So it's not like he's being crazy with it.
Is this a habit he picked up from DeMarcus Cousins? Like, it's like the cardinal sin of, like, transition defense. Like, that those are the most efficient shots in the game come in transition. You got to get back on defense. I mean, there's a reason why he rates out as the worst defender in the league. It's that and a few other things.
We all agree that Isaiah brings more to the table than he takes off the table. It's not a question of that. But how much more could he bring? Just like Zaire's talking about, he wants Marcus Smart to shoot less. I'd like Isaiah to complain less when the ball is live.
You can't compare Isaiah Thomas's complaining to Marcus Smart's shooting.
Says the man who just compared baseball to basketball.
Because it's true. Because Marcus Smart is missing 7, 8, 9 jumpers. Well, Isaiah Thomas complaining about 3 fouls.
When I die, guys, I got to tell you, hold on for a second. When I die, Zaire, I hope and pray I come back as your dog. Because, man, it won't matter what I do. I could chew up your clothes. I could pee anywhere. It doesn't matter, man. You are going to defend me to the end, and I appreciate that. There's a deep level of loyalty, man.
Why is his defensive rating far worse than anyone on the team?
You know what? That's a good question. I'm not defending his defense. I mean, if his defense sucks, I'll take it if I'm in this situation as opposed to last year. That's all I'm saying. So I'll take it.
It's remarkable to me, though. I hear that, and that's cool that you don't pretend he's got good defense. It's remarkable that you defend the idea of him not getting back on defense. Like that's fine and not anything to complain about. That's the part that's incredible.
But that it's not a consistent thing where it's like often. Like I mean, if you point out 4 or 5 times a game, okay, and maybe you're right, but at the same time, it's just not. It's not killing the Celtics. That's not killing the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? That's lower down on the list of problems that the Celtics have. Isaiah Thomas's job is not to stop anybody. His job is to carry the load on offense. I don't even care that it's not like he's
talking about jobs or not, but this is about scoring points and not letting the other team score points.
We're scoring more than others.
Yeah, except the games that they lose.
Aren't you worried about the playoffs? Like, ultimately, look, we're not saying he's supposed to be a better defensive player than he is. He is what he is. And I think when he's actually back on defense, he tries. But there is numerous times each game where he does not try to get back on defense, and that's just straight up effort, and that's disappointing.
So, Levy and Zaire, the season is winding down. The playoff push is heating up. So anytime I want to buy tickets to Celtics games, or my beloved UConn Huskies, or really anything else, I power up the SeatGeek ticketing app on my phone, and with just 2 taps, I know I've found the best deal because SeatGeek is the smartest and easiest way to get tickets to every game. With SeatGeek's seamless mobile experience, you can buy and sell tickets in mere seconds. And it doesn't end with the Celtics or any other NBA game. SeatGeek also has plenty of concert, comedy, and theater tickets available too. And it's all fully guaranteed. Listeners to CLNS Radio can support this production and get a $20 rebate off their first SeatGeek purchase. Here's how. Download the free SeatGeek app, go to the Settings tab, and click add a promo code and enter promo code CELTSNEWS, all one word, and SeatGeek will send you $20 after you've made your first ticket purchase. Download the free SeatGeek app and enter the promo code CELTSNEWS today.
One last question quickly. I know there's been huge debate on this show, blah, 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 about Kelly Olynyk. Some of us are Kelly Olynyk defenders, not all of us. That's fine. Let's assume Kelly Olynyk is not re-signed with the Celtics next year. That's certainly a strong possibility. Who is your big man bench binky? Who do you most want to join the team, not as a superstar, not the Blake Griffins of the world, but who do you think would be a nice fit to come off the bench and give you a reasonable 20, 25 minutes a game playing a backup 4 or 5, who does the things we ultimately will be looking for, hopefully Brad would be looking for. Maybe it's rebounding, but maybe it's stretching the floor. Who's your guy, if there's a guy?
It's going to be a lot harder for the Celtics to sign Kelly Olynyk with the reduced amount of time that the Celtics can match an offer in the new CBA. So in order to, in order to pursue a max level free agent, it's going to be very difficult to keep Kelly around. So if they do strike out on that free agent, then they're going to have to sort of look in the bargain bin and see who it's going to be. Zaire, do you have a favorite player?
Gigic. That's who I want. I just want him to come, and I want to see what he can do. And I don't care if he's a stretch 5 or not. I don't care. I just want him to be efficient and be great at what he does.
It is going to depend on who they draft, because there are some power forwards in there. There's Jonathan Isaac, who probably would be best playing the 4. Jason Tatum can play the 4 quite a bit as well. And Larry Markkinen could easily come in and fill Kelly Olynyk's role on this team. We're saying no Blake Griffin. We're saying no Paul Millsap. He's looking like he's going to stay in Atlanta. I'm looking here. There's Serge Ibaka, who's certainly going to earn some money. And then looking down the list, I'm looking on Hoops Hype right now. Like Pau Gasol, what is he, like 40? Mm-hmm. Nikola Mirotic, Ersan Ilyasova, like Taj Gibson might make some sense for this team. I know I'm just going to take a wild guess that Zaire would like Taj Gibson. Levy, is that a guy that you would target?
I would be down with Taj Gibson for sure. I actually, you know what? I think Brad Stevens could work a little magic on Mirotic too. I know Mirotic has not really improved since his rookie year. The Bulls have no use for him. But I think you get him on a super cheap deal. I could see him being better than Gigi. He might be the new Jonas Jerebko kind of guy. Can hit the threes, rebound a little bit. I don't know if he's going to play much defense, but I could see Brad finding the ways to accentuate the positive with a guy like Mirotic.
Yeah, it's going to be tough keeping Amir Johnson around. Patrick Patterson is another available guy who could probably fit in with the Celtics' desire to have shooting at that position, although he's having a little bit of a down year.
Do you think it'll be really tough for real to keep Amir?
The Celtics want to lure a max free agent, and rule number 1 of that is not going to be to sign Amir Johnson before you do that. So
okay, so here's a question that may be great for the show. Who's the next free agent?
All right, Blake Griffin seems like a pretty low odds proposition. All indications are, or at least all hunches are, that they're going to offer a max level deal to Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, they are.
I'd be kind of shocked if they didn't get him in a room at least. He's not Kevin Durant, but he fits the timeline of the older core.
It is not the end of the world to sign Gordon Hayward if indeed they were able to, and I don't know if they're going to be able to. I don't know if Hayward's going to choose them, and then trade Jay Crowder. It's a reasonable thing. Jay Crowder's going to have huge value in the league. He's going to have 3 more years at $7 million per. The league is going to fall over themselves trying to give the Celtics good things for Jay Crowder, including potential 4 or 5 guys. So that could be your big man. You turn Jay Crowder into a big man, perhaps, if you end up signing Gordon Hayward. That's another way to go. So the Celtics will have a lot of options. That's what you were saying before. They're not desperate. They've got a lot of flexibility. This is one of the ways they could decide to spin it versus actually playing everyone. They could move some of these guys, be it Avery Bradley, who I love, be it Jay Crowder, who I also love. But those guys may not be long for the team ultimately. And it's okay as long as you can get a sizable return for them, which I think you probably can. It's a good deal.
I'd rather kind of take a flyer, not a flyer, but take a pass on Gordon Hayward and kind of say, okay, what's beyond Gordon Hayward? Because I think that there's something beyond Gordon Hayward in the future, and live with Jay Crowder and just try and improve my team another step next year.
Zaire is high on this team.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? It's good. I mean, they're a really fun team. They're fantastic. It's fun to watch them. Not all of us think that this team, as presently constituted, can win a title in the next few years, but some of us do apparently, and that's great.
All right, that'll do it here at Celtics Roundtable on the Boston Celtics newsfeed. Follow us on Twitter at CLNS Roundtable, and you can also help us out in a big way by going to iTunes and giving the Boston Celtics newsfeed 5 stars. We would really appreciate that. Use the promo code CELTSNEWS, all one word, on your next SeatGeek purchase for $20. We want to thank you all for tuning in this week, and we'll see you next time.